Welcome back to my channel. My name is uLwando and this is Events with Lou. In the true fashion of my channel, I always try to show you guys explicitly how not so fancy the industry I'm in is or is not, how hard it is. And I want to talk about December. What December, guys, go like a lot. I don't want to say I had an anxiety attack, but I'm dead as sure I was very close to having one. So I've made some points, obviously, so I don't ramble on. One of my biggest things that made me or led me down to the anxiety route was obviously events, what I do. Towards December, that's when things were picking up for most of the events people, so we're getting a lot of bookings, and I was getting bookings too, which was great. But I don't know when they get on, but hey guys, izinto with December, like I'm a very realistic person, so if I go through things, I always want to know why. And after my why, I want to know, okay, how do I try avoid going through that? So I always reflect, okay, you acted this way, so from that, what did you learn? In all the events that I was going through, one of the biggest impacts towards my anxiety was the fact that I felt like I was working alone. Now, I don't work alone because I do have staff, but a huge part of planning the event does lie solely on me. So this would be the planning, liaising with the clients, costings, travel, planning, conceptualizing, shopping, driving, planning who's going to be where, doing what, when, who. Do you understand? The only time my team actually comes and works with me is on the day of the event. That's when I then offload instructions for them to what they need to. But all the work before that, I do it alone. So I think it was taking a huge toll on me. Number two, into being frata was a transport title andiphe amandla ofumana bethunana itrack title andiphe. Guys, yazi amapayina. That's what it felt like. I want to say a shorter word because guys, be good rough, be good tricky, be good tense. Transport is such a big part of doing events because transport is me being able to get to where I need to be. Transport is getting my equipment to where it needs to be. Transport is reliability. Delivering on time is punctuality. There's so much, like, guys, I realized that I had everything going for me, but I was failing myself because I didn't have transport. The guy I used to use way back when I started my company was not even a good guy, Utata Joseph, bless his heart. He was my guy. This man was like a dad. He is like a dad to me. He cared so much about me. He cared about the business. He cared about everything. He cared about my clients. He was so friendly. I mean, and we never got lost. Anytime I was with him, I used to go and do setups, and it would just be me and him. And he would help. He would go from the directions to get to the venue. He will help me offload. He will help me set up. He will open tables, do flooring. He will, if the client was panicking, he will speak to the client. If there was things that needed to be moved, he was there. He was just such an all-rounder. And I, unfortunately, he used to have a truck, and they hijacked the car at his house, and since then, God forbid, because it's gonna end, I have struggled to keep and maintain reliable, consistent, trustworthy drivers. I do have a guy that I'm working with now. He's amazing, absolutely amazing, but unfortunately towards the time of December he was not fully available to me, so I had to, like, every now and again find other people to help. And guys, late coming, akuphendulwa zifoni, from the site, my stuff is getting collected, late stuff, and my stuff equipment breakage, because a lot about events is how we package our things. So I take a lot of time to always properly wrap everything, because I'm in the, like idea Guti, it's gonna travel, there's potholes, there's things, so everything needs to be neatly packed and properly packed. So on the return, the same care needs to be taken into the equipment, and sometimes because there was a rush or whatever it would happen in the end, mostly because being a driver by the time we check equipment in, deal with my assistant, plates are broken, and it hit me hard because most of the time the things that were broken were not my things. Yes, it was a few of my glass, but glass I can replace. It was plates that I had hired, and the person I hired from, it was as if I did it as a personal attack, and yo guys, I was so broken. Transport just got to a point where I just like, I need my own truck. I even started thinking about putting in that thing that you put a trailer in my car, and I was like, you know what if I just buy a bakkie, just a small bakkie? Then I was like, but if I buy a bakkie or mambezela, oh my god guys, I eventually actually went to Kia with December. I was so frustrated, and unfortunately they said no. You won't believe why they said no. They said no to give me a truck because I'm too clean. My credit is too clean. Like, I worked all my life to have a clean credit, to have no bills, to be the saint, and I cannot get a truck. So now I need to create debt, because that's what the economy, or that's what they say. I need to create debt to get a truck. Please guys, keep it in your prayers, so that I can get a truck. Basically, the 4 weeks of December, guys, was just hell. I hated it. I also then had an event, which was one of my biggest events for last year. I honestly thought, guys, in my heart of hearts, through spoke, even the feedback I received from the guests to the people who saw the pictures was outstanding, London, outstanding. Client comes back to me, she's not happy, and client, guys, sends me a list of things that she was not happy with. It broke, like, each one broke my heart, because sometimes some of the things they were to me, some of the things were directed towards the staff, some of the things were directed towards just the random day, some were about the weather. Like, so there were a lot of things that some I could control, some I couldn't control. And I've never had a sit down with my staff, guys, where I'd be like, yeah. But this one broke me so much, because I felt like had some of the things that they noted about the team, maybe if they could have just done them, maybe wouldn't have been there. Also, the things that she alerted to me, perhaps I was on site, I could have also like avoided them, but unfortunately I can't be on site, guys, for each and every event. I set up and I go. It was just everything, from the breakage to the transport to this big event. Then the client is not happy, and then everything was, I felt like there was just this snowball. And then I started reaching out to my sheroes, the people that I look up to in the events, no names mentioned. And one of the biggest thing was, it's okay, Lwando, it's okay, these are growing pains, these things happen. This just means you need to find permanent solutions. You need to sit down with the team, talk to the team. Oh, just to think about it, man, guys, eh? Bendi going with December, the girl was going. Had another event in December, and this time beguneta. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was this 2 weeks where it was just raining, and I remember there were people who were posting weddings that were getting drenched, tables floating, chairs floating, things were just like broken, intense. And then the next week I had an event, and I thought everything was going to go smooth. Then my client was like, nope, Lwando, I refuse to cancel. I said, okay, let's get a waterproof stretch tent. We couldn't get it because everybody was booked with rain season, whatever was happening at that time. Eventually got a guy who was referred to me. Guy pitched up, guy arrives at 7 in the morning. drops off the tent and moves. Client calls, Lwando, your guy is not here, tent is not up. I'm like, Ebo, but the guy came, he said he was there. She's like, no, he only came and dropped off and he left. So I called the guy, dude, what's happening? He's like, no, that's just what we do. We first go around dropping them off, then we drive back en route, and then we erect the tents. I was like, oh, okay, great. I'm like, I'm happy. So I lied to my client. Thankfully, that client is a saint, one of my long-time clients. So she understood. Guy came back around 7 in the evening and dropped off his stuff, and he left. Then between 7 and around 10 was a huge squabble. I'm home. It is pouring outside, guys. My client is fighting with the staff from this tent guy because they are not agreeing on where to put the tent. Now, I had told the guy where to put the tent. He was supposed to tell his guys where to put the tent, and his guys were just not understanding. My client was not about it. And around 10 o'clock, I was literally behleli ngempundu, stressed like a mother, because guys, the thing is, tomorrow I have no tent, it's pouring, my client is awake, she's fighting with the people. Eventually I call this guy's like, no, I'm on my way there. He arrives at the house around 11. At 11, my client's still not happy, they're squabbling, they're not like, the guys and I'm like to her, and you know what, let me come. So no, don't come. I can't needs to put the tent. When I say I want it, it's my money, I'm paying him for service, he needs to erect it. I want it. I'm like, I understand, but I'm like to this guy, dude, it's a simple thing, just put the tent where she wants it. And this guy is just, yo, guys, I kid you not, around 12, I'm getting a text, Lwando, I'm gonna lock this guy in my house, because if he's not paid me in Maliam, I can't go leave my house. The gate is locked. He's like, he's not gonna leave until he pays me back my money. He must take his tent down. Oh, I was like, Yazini, you really, you know, you have clients who are like, you're like, yes. And then you have clients who are like, you know, this one was I was like, yeah, I'm chilling, girl. But at the back of my mind, I'm like, shit, that means I need to outsource a new tent for tomorrow because it's pouring. So first thing, eventually 1 o'clock, she texts me. She's like, Lwando, the money reflected, I've let the guy go home. 1 o'clock in the morning, the guy left. I haven't spoken to the guy since that day. 6 o'clock, I'm saying, guys, please help, I need a tent. One of my guru friends said she could help, came through, put up the tent, did the setup, client was happy, everything came together. But so guys, I was stressed. I went through. So on the day of the setup, I'm there with Maria and we're setting up. Like, guys, I was besides myself. I did the setup, made sure everything was perfect, and now when you phone's out, because since when in stress. Unfortunately, it turns out there was a friend of mine who was trying to get a hold of me, and unfortunately couldn't get a hold of me because being up in the phone. She even spoke to my other assistant at home. She wanted to take something in uni, and I wasn't home to assist her. Oh, it got so bad, and we got into a very, very big fight. Well, we didn't get into a big fight. She got into a big fight with me because all I could say was, I'm sorry. And that was the next big blow I got hit with December. Someone I loved so much, guys. I love this person so much, and into yajiga, you know, over something so innocent. And I tried to explain myself and it just was not getting through. worst part that we were having the squabble was my mom's birthday since her passing. So I woke up not well. Obviously I tried to push back, like, you know what, friend, man, let's not do this. I understand you're angry, I'm sorry, blah blah blah, but just kept on hammering and hammering. And I even said to her, friend, it's my mom's day today, like, I'm alright. And she just kept on hoeing and hoeing and hoeing. I bawled. I couldn't help it, I bawled. But anyways, yeah, there was other thing that happened to me. What December, guys, let's go. And then to top it all off, guys, remember my transport issue. So the next day I need my equipment to be collected at the venue. So I hired this guy who was referred to me by someone else. He goes to collect the equipment, but he has an open truck. And the Sunday, it was still not heavy rain, but magnetic. And guys sends me pictures. No, I've covered it, your chairs will be fine. Assistant texts me, Lwando izinto zifike zimanzi, the chairs were wet, some of the backdrops were wet. And at this point I was just like, you know what, umhlaba makavuleke andiginye, because I don't know anymore. I was like, okay, fine, out of everything that's going on, I have a holiday. I had booked my ticket, I had gone and I had gotten my visa. I had tickets, I was going to go to Dubai. Yes, the girl was going to Dubai, guys. Wednesday, I started feeling anxious. Cancelled. Some smarty pants in SA decided to tell the whole world that they had found Omicron, whatnot, and SA, all of South Africa, actually Africa was locked out of all the countries. Emirates didn't even bother to call, guys. They sent me an email like, sorry, suitcase ivuliwe, guys, got Emirates back to CC. It ain't happening. Hey guys, an SMS saying, that was the email, flights cancelled. They're like, we understand how inconvenient this is to you, however your ticket is still valid. What, blah 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 blah. I still do have the ticket. My visa expired on the 31st of Jan, so if I do still want to travel to Dubai, I'll have to get a new visa and go. But now I'm undecided if I want to go to Dubai, if I want to go somewhere else. So I've left the ticket hanging in the meantime. Oh, then I had my masterclass. Woo, because I'm such an overachiever. So I decided I'm going to do a masterclass and I'm going to take it down to East London, which is my hometown. Shout out to the slummies. And guys, I was so anxious. Nobody was booking, nobody was paying, like nothing was happening. But towards the last 2 weeks and the week of the event, East London yavuka. People came through. I had the event, it was a success. The ladies were happy. I had a professional photographer. He took amazing pictures. If you follow me on Instagram, the business page uLwandoluhle, you will have noted that I've been posting the pictures because I'm advertising the Joburg leg of the masterclass, which is a backdrop styling class. But go rough, December. But here I am, I'm still standing. Here I am despite everything. What was nice though about me, because this happened at a time where I already resigned. Guys, I resigned in August, September. I only posted the video recently because I was just like, it was too early. I don't speak my business, you know, only share so much on the space. Decembering. As soon as I flew home for December, I remember the day after the masterclass that I hosted, I went on shut mode. I switched off everything. I went on flight mode and I was unavailable. I was unresponsive to all types of communication for a good 2 weeks. into January, I started peaking out around like, I think around the 7th was the 10th, when I started like getting inquiries and I had to like respond to them. People wanted to hire things, but I only officially started working towards the end of Jan. And I'm happy I pulled through, guys. I'm happy I had people I could speak to. I'm appreciative for my staff. Don't quit. Always stay focused. Remain true to the goal. No matter how hard it gets, keep grinding. If you believe in it, keep at it. I honestly did not see, guys, in December. I did not see January, but I came through. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I feel great having offloaded my December. Don't forget to subscribe. I love you.